Let's face it, life isn't always the party we thought it would be. So how do we find the joy when we need it? And what if it's up to us to create it? That's where the Party On podcast comes in. Our goal? To shine the proverbial disco light on all the things that can make our lives easier, healthier, and a heck of a lot more fun. So we can enjoy the party we were all invited to, live our best lives, and dance like no one's watching. Hey guys, so glad you are back with us for the first official episode of our revamp of the Party On podcast. I'm just really grateful you are here. First and foremost, we are sponsored by the Festive Farm Co., which is your one-stop shop for all your gift-giving needs. It is an online gift shop that I created years ago when I realized there was a lack of things out there for people who wanted to send gifts that had meaning, that had real emotional depth and real emotional meaning, whether someone you love is going through something difficult in their life or going through something amazing. I wanted to create gifts that matter and gifts that make their hearts sing and gifts that make them feel seen, heard, and valued. So stop by thefestivefarmco.com, check out what we have in store, and use the code PARTYON for 10% off your purchase at checkout. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are going to jump right in, and I think like right in time, we're going to talk about the year of the snake and the year of the horse. We touched on this in the last episode very briefly, and we're just going to dive into it. We're going to talk about what we're not going to be doing anymore. That's snake energy. And we're going to talk about what we are going to be doing, and that's horse energy. So giddy up, y'all. And we're also going to talk about the energy that goes around all of it. Like, we are the horse, and we have to live in that energy to move forward. But before we really dive into my thoughts on this, I thought it would be great to do a quick deep dive on the snake and the horse and the energy that comes with both. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the Chinese zodiac, which, you guys, hear me out, if you don't believe in all this stuff, all I'm going to ask is for you to have an open mind and open heart as we talk about this energy. I think we all understand and believe that energy is a thing. It's legit, right? Science, it's real. It's what runs our hearts and our souls and our bodies, and it's just surrounding us everywhere we go. I want you to have an open mind and an open heart as we talk about the Chinese zodiac as it is and as it pertains to energy. So, work with me here. 2025 was the year of the snake. Again, like I said in last week's episode, I didn't even know the year of the snake was a thing until towards the end of 2025. I started to wonder what the heck was going on. Like, why was everything so hard? Why were there so many just life-altering things happening to me and to everyone around me? And then when I heard it was the year of the snake, it made complete sense. So, in snake energy, it's the essence of a snake. So think about a snake. They shed their skin when they are ready to grow and they are ready to move, and they shed what no longer serves them. So what does snake energy or shedding energy look like? Think reflection, think discernment, think inner clarity, think letting go. And I think personally these energetic things get a bad rap because of how they usually present themselves in a really difficult way. Like 2025, they tend to come in shocking ways. They tend to come in traumatic ways. And here's the difficult part about that. And I think this is the difficult part about life in general. It's real easy to label those as bad. And it's real easy to label it as all negative. But just because they come in a very big way, it doesn't make that energy any less positive. And it's actually important to remember that. The snake sheds so it can grow more skin eventually. What's actually happening is that it's outgrowing it, and it needs more space. It needs more capacity. It needs the area to grow and change into. And while that can be painful, as you can imagine, pain tends to birth beautiful, beautiful things. So what did this look like in 2025? I think for a lot of us, it looked like relationships ending and jobs changing and life changes big and small. And they were probably all a bit, or a lot in my case, painful. And I don't know about you, but there were literal times when I felt like I had no skin. So before I even knew it was the year of the snake, I was having conversation with friends saying, I don't understand what's happening, but I'm going through so much so fast. And it's like I'm losing so much so fast that I feel raw. Like it feels like I actually said that it feels like I have no skin. It feels like whatever armor I had accumulated or put on in the last couple of years was just ripped away from me, but before I was ready, before my new skin had actually formed, and like just being and existing in the world for me towards the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026 just even felt really painful. And if you pay attention to this stuff at all, you know that snake energy, it holds on till the very end. So the year of the horse technically does not begin until February 16th or 17th, depending on the way you look at it. But that energy doesn't arrive, and I mean just barely arrive until that moment. So the snake energy has been holding on through 2026, and for me, I was ready. I was the girl at New Year's that was like, 2025, be damned. I am so ready for 2026. Bring on the year of the horse. And then things, if you can imagine, which I couldn't at that point, got even harder for me. And I was like, this is it. I've had it. I've absolutely had it. And that's when I realized, we're not there yet. The horse is around the corner, but it's not here yet. And every freaking thing the snake could throw at me, it did. And it culminated in January with me getting a particularly difficult medical diagnosis in which I required emergency surgery. And they were going to be removing a large area of my skin. And as I lay on that operating table, it was not lost on me that I was actually about to shed. I was actually physically, just like a snake, going to be shedding my skin. And it made me think about what else I was shedding with it. And in that moment for me, it was fear and control. I mean, I had no choice but to let go of those things. And that wouldn't have happened without the surgery. So it was just such a beautiful perspective on something difficult that came from the year of the snake. And as awful as the entire experience was, I'm so super grateful. I'm so super grateful for it and for what it taught me. And that's how we need to look at the snake. We don't need to be angry at it. We need to look at it with gratitude and acceptance for letting us know the things that no longer serve us. Because how great is it to know that? And to know that whatever it is, even if it's just something that doesn't serve us right now, like it could be something that comes back into our life at a later time, but for whatever reason, it's not for us right now, and we can release it and get in the right mental space before we meet the horse. So maybe take some time. I'm going to encourage you guys to take some time to journal a couple things. Number one, what the snake taught you, what you have to let go of. Number two, and what you're not going to do anymore. So number one, what the snake taught you. Number two, what you have to let go of. And number three, what we are not doing anymore. And I have been repeating this, and we're going to say this a lot in our conversations to remind each other we're not doing this anymore. And the reason that I want you guys to journal all of this, because it's so important to write it down. There's so much power in connecting your mind to your body and using your hand. We're going to do a whole episode on this. And writing down and putting out into the world what you're not going to do anymore. And now that the snake released its grip on us, or it's pretty much released its grip, now that we've shed our outgrown skin, where does that leave us? And my first thought was naked, which made me laugh. But truly and honestly, I'd say my word is ready. Ready for new experiences and new skin and new strength. And that's where the horse comes in. And the Chinese zodiac, the year of the horse, it's actually the year of the fire horse to be exact, in 2026. But we're going to talk about more of that in a minute. First, we're just going to focus on horse energy. So I want you to think of a horse. I want you to put one in your mind right now. And what does that look like? And what does that feel like? So horse energy is bold. It's strong. Think momentum. Think adventure. Think courage and bravery. So I want you to think about the feeling of that. I want you to really truly think about and try to embody the feeling of that. And then feel how that's like the absolute contradiction of the snake. It just feels very differently in our bodies. It's like we've been coiled up and hunkered down and internally focused, completely coiled up like a snake. And then when you coil up, you almost think about like a spring until you can't do it anymore. And that spring just pops. And now we're ready to run. And to me, when I think about the horse, to me, it's wild. It's wild energy, and it's a wild horse. I don't know if any of you have ever had the beautiful opportunity to go see any of the wild horses on this planet. I know there are several locations that you can do so. For me, I love going to Arizona and going to the Salt River, and I call it going on a wild horse hunt. It's almost like a unicorn hunt because that's exactly what it feels like. You almost have to tap into your own energy because you never know where they're going to be. You never know if you'll see them. You never know if you won't. But when you do, when you go to the right place at the right time and they grace you with their presence, you are just blown away. And there's all these rules. If you haven't had the chance to do this, you have to learn in advance. You are to not approach them because they are incredibly bold and incredibly strong and wild. And you are to let them run free and respect them. Absolutely respect them. It's one of my, cannot recommend it enough. In fact, if you have ever wanted to do this and you want details on how to find the wild horses in Arizona, there's so many groups that you can follow. You can also shoot me an email because I'm so happy to help you with this experience. But the horse energy and the wild horse energy is just that. It's bold, it's strong, and it's wild. And they will run with their momentum, with or without you. And that to me is the most important thing to acknowledge about horse energy. It's going to be there. It's going to exist. It's going to run, and it's going to run fast, whether you are ready or not. So what I'm here to tell you is it's time to buckle up or saddle up and get ready, because it's big and it can trample you or simply just run off without you. You have to be ready to harness it. This is what we mentioned in the last episode. If you can harness it, if you can be ready and be brave, you can harness it, grab on with all your might, and let it take you with it. And how do you do that? How do you harness it? And I just spoiled it, but in my opinion, the answer is courage. And there may be, in order to access that courage, there may be a few final things you need to let go of. For me, it was making myself small. You may need to stop making yourself small, or you may need to let go of the belief that you can't or that you shouldn't, or you need to let go of the idea that you don't deserve the things you actually want. Let go of these things. And if you haven't let go of these ideas yet, do it now. This is the time. Write them down, throw them away, burn them, let them go. And the other thing I want to say about this is these ideas, these beliefs aren't just one-timers, like I call them. Like, these are things, if those are blocks for you, you're going to have to release them over and over and over again. And to me, every time there is a different energetic year or year in the Chinese zodiac, I love animal medicine. I love animals and what they teach us. I love what nature teaches us. But we can carry that with us. The year of the snake may be over, but the lessons that we've learned, we get to take with us. And to me, that is what the benefit of learning about the snake and how that energy served us. We get to choose to do that over and over again. So those limiting beliefs that come up for us that are telling us we're too small, or we can't, or we shouldn't, or we don't deserve important big things, or we can't live out loud, those things will resurface, and we will have to continue to shed them over and over and over again. I have to work on this every day. And I mean, how do you think I got to a point where I could hop back on here? It just takes doing that work, releasing over and over again, and stepping in to bravery. There's a movie I used to love as a child, and if you are I'm technically an exennial. I don't know if that makes sense to, hopefully some of you out there get that. I'm not a millennial, and I'm not Generation X, but if you were going to put me in one of those, I'm at the tail end of Generation X. There was a movie I loved to watch growing up called Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. If you haven't seen it, it's a must watch. It's so great. It's safe for the whole family. Such a good message, and it is a true story. It's the true story of a woman who went blind while following her dream, which was diving horses into a pool of water as a part of a show at a county fair. Her name is Sonora Webster Carver, and she is a real life, fantastically brave, wonderful, beautiful woman. She actually went blind in the process of following her dream by hitting the water with open eyes. And she refused at that point. I think I don't even, this is so hard for me to even understand. I think most people would just be like, I'm done. But she refused. She loved diving horses so much that she said, I'm blind, but I'm going to do this blind. So she courageously practiced over and over again. And you guys, I want you to imagine a ramp up to a high diving board where a woman stands. The horse runs up the ramp. It is her only job to harness this horse, to grab onto the harness, to jump onto it while it dives straight down into the water. And I want you to imagine the courage that it would take to have to practice doing that blind, to have to feel the energy of the horse, to have to sense the arrival of the horse so that you can grab the reins at just the right moment and hop on with all of your fear and all of your courage swirling around at the same time for that one exhilarating dive. And there's this one scene where she is just trying and failing, and it's her with her hands reached out, ready and waiting, just simply ready for the force of that horse. And that is the image that I'm taking with me into 2026. Just the image of it's coming, it's here, and now it's my turn to be brave. It's my turn to harness it and tap into my courage, because that is the only way I am jumping on this ride. That is the only way I'm going to be a part of this momentum. The momentum is there, friends, with or without us, but I intend to be on that horse. So that's where we are. The fire horse is here, and all we have to do is harness her. So I want you guys to think about what that looks like for you. What I've been journaling about is what that looks like for me. And I've been specifically asking the question, what is my soul asking me to move towards, even blindly? What is it asking me to trust? And how can I step into courage to make that happen? So again, you guys write these things down. Please start a journaling practice if you haven't already. It is so, so important. You will learn so much about yourself, and things will just start to happen for you in your life as you start to know yourself better. And remember, you guys, horse energy is big. It's huge. It's so strong. Think of the rippling muscles on a horse. They're just such stunning, magnificent creatures. This year is about taking bold action. It's about living out loud. It's about making yourself big. It's about taking chances. And this horse is made of freaking fire. So it may burn like hell to grab onto her, but it will be worth it. The snake made us grow wiser, but the horse helps us live bigger, more authentically, more us, more alive, more everything. And I am so ready for it. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys do these journal prompts. You will thank yourselves. You will thank your future self for them, because you are just creating who you are going to be. Do me a favor, share with us how this landed for you. We are on Instagram at the Party On Podcast. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Those are so incredibly helpful, and they help others find our episodes. So if this resonated with you, please let us know. Please share with friends, leave a review. And as always, head on over to thefestivefarmco.com if you want to continue to spread love and joy into the world by letting someone know you care today. Party on, friends.